All right, folks, here we go. Brian Blessing, bangthebook.com. Thrilled to be with you here in Las Vegas. Don't forget the sports betting podcast with our buddy Adam Burke. Good to see Adam this week here in Nevada. And, of course, you can follow me on Twitter and follow along right here at Bang the Book on Twitter. Let's go to the Sweet 16, and we get it going with Thursday action. Let's dive into these four games. Four SEC teams have made it to the Sweet 16. One of them, Tennessee, a 1-point favorite over Purdue. The total on the game is 146.5 for the Boilermakers. Carson Edwards, kid's been amazing. 42 points, had 9 threes in his last outing. Purdue beats Old Dominion 61-48, and then they throttle Villanova 87-61. So what are we getting here? Low score in one game, high score in the other. Maybe a little gray area there. But Tennessee, man alive, they beat Colgate. And then they beat Iowa in overtime, and they blew a huge lead. But, you know, teams that go on to win this thing always survive. Duke will come to mind, obviously, with that wild game against UCF. But you're sitting here looking at Tennessee, 0-2 against the spread, but they are 2-0 to the over. And Rick Barnes has got this team playing at a pretty high level, but the one thing is their defense is a little bit suspect. So I'd lean to the over 146.5 in that game. Then we go to a 12 seed, biggest seed on the board still remaining. That's Oregon against Virginia. Virginia's an 8-point favorite. Total on the game is 119. 10-game winning streak. Current form means something. Dana Altman has Oregon playing at a high level. They beat Wisconsin 72-54, and everybody was on Oregon in that game. And then they beat Cal Irvine 73-54. They're 2-0 against the spread, and that was a really good outing for Oregon. Again, current form, I think they're real live here, catching 8 points. Virginia, yes, they've got more offense, they've got more depth, but they still have that anvil on their shoulder and, trying to really make noise in an NCAA tournament. And now they're in the deeper end of the pool. They beat Gardner-Webb in Oklahoma. Neither team was really scaring anybody, but I think the points might be the way to go here with the Ducks. Then we go to Florida State and Gonzaga. Zags are 6.5-point favorites, bet up to 7. Total on the game is 147.5. The Zags 1-1 against the spread, 1-1 to the over. And again, here deep into the pool a little bit, Fairleigh Dickinson. Baylor had that anomaly game with Syracuse. Brandon Clark's been flat out dominant. Rematch for this game with the Zags. They played Florida State last year. This is a very long and athletic Florida State team. It's their inconsistency that is a touch scary for me. They beat Vermont, who's a very good team, and then they beat Murray State with a great player and who was also a very good team. I would say Florida State has impressed in their first 2 games, and that Murray State game, really impressive. 90-62 was the final. I'd lean over in this game. I think you're going to see some points. Zach Norwell struggled against Florida State last year. The points are attractive, but I think the total's the way to go over the total there. Then Texas Tech and Michigan. Michigan 2.5, 126.5. Listen, this Texas Tech team, they throttled Buffalo. Buffalo has an electric offense, and they just negated them. They took them out of the game. Buffalo could never find a rhythm against the Red Raiders, and they deserve full marks for that. And then they get offense from Culver. This Texas Tech team is the real deal. A suffocating defense. 2-0 against the spread, but both games went under the total. And then when you talk about Michigan, they beat Montana and Florida, covered both games. 64-49 was the score in that Florida game. Their defense is stout, and Michigan is struggling from three-point land. I think you got to look under the total on that one. Should be an intriguing Thursday in the Sweet 16, and we're always glad to bring it to you from Las Vegas right here at bangthebook.com.